get that just right. Move up a little right here. And making the adjustments. There we go. I think that'll work for now. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Something happened. What's going on, everyone? This is Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And what doesn't make sense is the fact that just a minute ago, my TV was connected. But yeah. So anyway, welcome to Kevin's Corner. While I figure this out real quick. Okay. We'll go over there. Down there. Hit that. Let's see what happens, y'all. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay. It says no signal, huh? You want to play games, huh? You want to play rough. You want to play rough? Okay. Okay, I try to tell you, man. I said I don't kill no kids, okay? All right. Still no signal. It's quite odd. It's quite odd. Yeah. I don't understand. Oh, well, that could be it. Hold on. Wait a minute. All right. Suffering from some technical difficulties here. So you're supposed to have all this stuff figured out before. There we go. We're back. Yeah. Just took a little bit of fiddling around with it or something like that. All right. People checking in from Oregon. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. Where else? Where else are we checking out Kevin's Corners from? Oregon. He says he's back in action. I am. I'm back in action. Time for some action. And it is. It's time for some action. So, off grid, go ahead and hit that like button. I'm assuming today my sound system is working. Yesterday, the sound had to clean stuff. You know, it's something every day, man. It's something every day. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Why can't stuff just work right? And speaking of that, let me make sure that I got my Wi-Fi on, just in case things get crazy. And I got my Do Not Disturb on, so nobody interrupt Kev in the midst of his show. Bam! There we go. See, when you're messing around and waiting to the last minute and rushing to get the show out, you forget details like that. See, my dad always said, hey, settle down. Take your time. Don't rush. But Dad, it'll be there when you get there. Somebody said, Kev, is coast to coast. Yeah, coast to coast, LA to Chicago. Yeah, Seattle's in the house. That's what I'm talking about. So now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get loose so I can get busy. Real gold to love. Real gold to love. Real gold to love.
There's kings in the building. Do your fist and show some respect.
Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. And I see Dawn is in here too. She said, I'm here. So good evening, Dawn. And good evening to all of you. Now, if this is your first time ever checking out Kev's Corner, please hit the like button, share my videos, subscribe. But make sure you turn them notification buttons on to all, because you might get outed. They might be like, yeah, we're not sending it to this guy. Don't worry. He only watched one show. So you got to let him know you're serious about watching the show. See, then maybe they'd be like, fine. He's going to be looking for it every night, so we might as well send it out and pretend that we're fair and balanced. So anyway, yeah, hit that like button, share videos, subscribe. And also, don't forget, I got a store with some merch in it, an online store. You can get it's all kind of merch in there. And that number on the screen, 330-974-4607, is the number you text MAGA to, just in case they do out me. And finally, if you want to support the channel through my Cash App or PayPal link, I appreciate that too. The links are below each video. All little nickels and dimes and pennies, they all count. They all count. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get busy since we're talking about counting, because we're counting Trump's first 100 days, and I'm happy about it.
This is the best, they say, 100-day start of any president in history, and everyone is saying it. We've just gotten started. You haven't even seen anything yet.
What? We've just gotten started. You ain't seen nothing yet. Now that sounds positive. It's better better than Biden getting up there talking about ultra MAGA and you know what? America's filled with racism and misogyny and xenophobia and all of that stuff. See, that's the Democrats' messages. Everything is doom and gloom. We're always fighting against some evil entity in the United States, of course, and it usually shows up in the face of Republicans, conservatives, white folks that don't vote for Democrats. They project all that evil on them. See, they never have times where they just straight come out and say, look, hope is on its way. We're encouraged. America, we see a wonderful, bright future. Nah, it's blinded. They can't see the future because of racism and xenophobia and Nazism and stuff. Because that's their whole strategy when it comes down to winning votes. But not Trump. He's saying the best is yet to come. So let's see what he's done so far. And then we'll see what the haters got to say about it too.
Fox News alert, there's been a standoff in San Antonio, Texas. An illegal alien running from ICE climbed up a tree.
Somebody get down there. Somebody go get me a blow dart gun right to the neck. Why is this illegal immigrant running up a tree? Dang on it. So now we got illegal immigrants running to try to escape from getting deported under Trump. Where was all of that under Biden? They didn't even attempt to sneak across the border no more. When Mucus was over that border, no, they just come straight up to the border patrol and say, hola, check your CB1 app. I sent a message yesterday. I was going to show up today at noon for my asylum. That's what they were doing. Yeah, Border Patrol was busy all day signing people in, checking them in and stuff like that, giving them only 72 hours to process these people. Now they're bored. Now they're sitting around with their arms behind their head, feet up, looking like what is that a coyote? Or a real coyote? See, that's all they're seeing right now. Real coyotes. See, so under Trump, under Biden, we weren't seeing any of this. Now they're running up trees, y'all. Now, where did he think he was going, y'all?
His name is Raul. He was in the tree for the last 7 hours.
Wow, that's dedication. That man was like, no, I'm not coming down. Dude, you got to come down at some point. No, I'm going to pee from up here in this tree. So this guy stayed up there for 7 hours. Now, these are the images that we should be seeing all over the country, and every American should be going, yeah, anybody crazy enough to sneak into our country illegally, and then when they're confronted, go up a tree and decide, I'm not coming down. They should have just cut the whole tree down. Yeah, timber. But this guy decides to do this. Now, are these the type of people we want running around our country? I mean, you think Kev could go to some foreign country and run up a tree to escape justice because I snuck in and been there for years? They probably wouldn't even use a dart gun. And you know what? Just live rounds. Let's just get this guy out of here right now. So let's see what happened to the notorious tree climber.
DHS and local police had the tree surrounded. At one point, authorities deployed a ladder, and the migrant climbed even higher into the tree.
Y'all hear that? He ain't going back. That brother was like, I'm not going back. Don't make me jump. Don't make me jump. So they should have just put a little trampoline right down there at the bottom. Like when they be shooting those deers. I mean, not deers, but those bears. They climb up telephone poles and can't get down. So they set up that little trampoline. And just, yeah, he'll pass out and wake up in his own country.
When Raul whipped out his phone, we don't know who he was calling.
Democrats. Yeah, he wants some of that, Garcia, killer Garcia treatment. That's what he want. Yeah, he want some advocates. He want a whole bunch of protesters to come down there and be like, did he get his due process? You know what? We can hold a trial while he's up there in the tree. That's what he wanted. He's probably calling some Democrats like, I'm in trouble. Somebody come and get me.
Maybe he was on the CBP app, self-deporting. If you look closely, you can see Raul has an earring. Interesting fashion choice. Activists at one point swarmed the tree. Oh. They're asking if he wants a lawyer.
Here we go. That's what he was doing. Yeah, he was live streaming probably and hoping that a whole bunch of dumb liberals would get wind of his situation and come down to support him, keep him in the country. But it doesn't work that way anymore. Raul, I think that's his name. It doesn't work that way anymore, okay? Yeah, I saw some activists trying to stop ICE the other day, getting all in their way. And ICE was just pushing them out the way, get out the way. We're locking this person up. No, what did he do? What did he do? Do you have a warrant? Lock those people up too if they're getting away.
Raul is a Guatemalan who broke into the country in 2013. He was deported, and then he came back at an unknown time.
Yeah, probably under mucus. There you go. So he broke in 2013, was deported, and came back in. I wonder if he was one of the folks that got a bus ride to wherever he wanted to go, or a plane ticket under mucus. You know, who knows? He might have stayed in a nice fancy hotel under them. We don't know. So, yep. Now he's getting a first class ticket straight back to where he came from.
We reached out to Christy Nome. She said, quote, "Let this be a cautionary tale. You can run, but you cannot hide."
You can run, but you can't hide. I'm loving it. Wow. Boy, I tell you, all of this in Trump's first 100 days, the whole narrative with these illegal immigrants coming across the border has shifted. They ain't coming no more. We're going to find out how many came this last, I guess, month. Okay, I mean, like I said, Border Patrol right now is just twiddling their thumbs. And I'm sure that there's other things that have dropped as well, like the entrance of fentanyl, because see, all of that worked coincide with each other. See, you got the coyotes bringing all of these illegal immigrants. Border Patrol can't watch the smugglers that's bringing in drugs because they're tied up with folks like Raul there. See, so all of this has a ripple effect. Now Border Patrol can look for smugglers of drugs and things like that. So I'm sure all of those numbers are starting to go down because we got us a real president. That's what we got, man. We had an imposter for 4 years, but now we got the real stuff.
Whether in a tree or harbored in an activist judge's house, if you are here illegally, ICE will find you,
got to go.
Arrest you, and deport you.
Now, smart people think this is great. Smart people think this is progress. I mean, why wasn't this done under Biden? And Trump knocked this out in his first 100 days. There you go. So now I'm wondering if any illegal immigrants are walking towards our border with shirts to say, "Trump, we're coming," like they did with Biden. No. We're seeing their backs as they self-deport or are deported. But guys, we have to have a session of time for working hard to be dumb. So now we all know immigration is a big problem and Trump is solving it. But you got folks out there that's on TV working hard to be dumb. So let's get some. Here we go. Starting off with
You can get him back. There's a phone on this desk.
I could,
But the court has
he's
ordered
not.
you to facilitate that.
I'm not the one making.
Yeah, I could, but I'm not. Now, you know that pisses him off. Yeah, man. So I thought you could do it right now. Here, you can use my cell phone. Why don't you call and get him back? No, why would I do that? I'm solely convinced that that guy is a criminal and should have been deported. I'm not going to ask for those type of problems back, just like all of these countries that sent all of their riffraff to us. Yeah, remember, they aren't sending just the doctors and the scholars. They made sure they opened up the jail cells and sent a whole bunch of gang members and crazy folks. You think they're asking for them back? You think they're calling up the United States, listen, we want a whole bunch of our insane people back? No. In fact, you know, many of them wanted to reject the return of all of their crazy folks and violent folks. They didn't want them back. But yeah, we're supposed to want this guy back. Go ahead. You know what? You could do it right now. Trump's like, yeah, I could, but I'm not. So that just ticked him off even more, y'all.
This decision. We have lawyers that don't want. He had MS-13 on his knuckles
Oh,
tattooed.
he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way.
I say they're interpreted that way. Yeah, let me say that real quick, like I'm doing a service announcement after trying to sell you something. Come out now and buy this product. It's great. You might suffer from diabetes. Could cause death. Yeah, he tried to slide that in so you can't hear it. Yeah, you just heard something about no tattoos and baby. And I'm going, I can't hear that. Why don't you slow it down and speak clearly and loud like you were just a minute ago when you were going, you could call him right now. You're the president. Call him up. But when them tattoos came up as an issue, yeah. So let's
Says MS13.
That was Photoshop.
You want me to show you the picture?
But I'm not an expert.
We were all assured that
Here we go. Here's our first candidate to working hard to be dumb. Jessica is a common person on my show. Okay, she's always a participant. So she's back for more. Let's see if she wins the crown today.
no one was dumb enough to think that it was actually said MS-13, but it seemed like Trump actually did think that. And there have been a number of experts on gang tattoos, like CBS, I'm looking at an article right now, that they spoke to, who said that these experts did not say that the symbols the judge talked about, the marijuana leaf and the cross. Then they're wrong.
Yeah. So they go out and they get some whacked bootleg so-called tattoo experts to counter with Trump and all of the folks that, stopped this guy and the folks that got firsthand knowledge on gang, tattoos and stuff like that. Forget all of them. Let's go ahead and try to disprove that these things represent MS-13. We want to make this guy so credible, so clean and squeaky clean that we want to go find folks to disprove it. Because Trump deported a gangbanger, and we can't be known to be trying to bring this gangbanger back or defend him. So we're going to do everything we can not to find out if it is what they say it is, if it represents MS-13. We don't really want to know that. We have no interest in that because that would just blow up our narrative. So what we're going to do, we're going to fight this thing as long as we can. 3 weeks now. 3 weeks now. And there's still up here that there's no proof that that is a gang tattoo. And that Trump said it was MS-13. And I'm going, y'all are working hard to disprove it. But you're not working hard to find out if it's true. So now Jesse is going to have to just blow up this dummy right here. Because the dummy isn't using common sense. She's so blinded by trying to disprove that this man is a part of MS-13. So Jesse is going to just get tired of it. He's going to go ahead and have to say, you know what, you're about to win the dumb person award of the day.
Smiley, then they're okay. Our gang expert is
Judge, like they're wrong.
Okay, that's fine. Either way, public opinion has shifted on this issue.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. Yeah, I don't care what y'all, unless y'all are lying to people and aren't telling them the truth by just coming out and saying, do you support President Trump deporting American citizens to El Salvador? Unless you are, fixing your poll to lead people into saying, well, yeah, that don't sound cool. But if you tell the people about this man and his background and what those things represent, nobody except the dumbest of dumb or people who just want to make Trump look bad would say, well, I changed my mind. I want this guy back. Nobody would want that. And that is why they don't want you to know that these tattoos represent MS-13. That's why. That's why they don't want to talk about those beatings that he used to give his wife when he was here. That's why. That's why they don't want to apply all the logic and the context clues around this dude's history and background to conclude that, yeah, he's a bad hombre. So Jesse's going to have to show her all of these keys, all of these clues that she don't want to put together because she's working hard to be dumb.
Here we go.
And I'm sorry, Jessica, I love you, but I don't believe anything you say anymore.
What?
You're wrong about everything. Every
wrong
time you
about
come up with
nothing.
these things, first he's a Maryland dad, then actually he does have tattoos.
Look at her. What? Wait, I'm the dummy? Are you talking about me? The one that just sat back and... So now Jesse is sick of playing. He's no longer going to pacify her like somebody, you got a cousin or a friend who always saying stupid stuff and you just go, oh, well, you never know. It's finally like, you know what? That was dumb. I've listened to you for so long say stupid things and I'm about tired of it. So now Jesse is hurting her feelings because she's like, what?
MS-13. Yeah, and then there's this other tattoo expert that you have. I thought we were supposed to trust the experts, right? And all these experts say this guy's a gangbanger, and you don't trust the experts.
Wait a minute, Jesse, you got a point because see, when Pete Hegseth had that tattoo, they all said that he was a white supremacist. There you go. There was no, it could be something, and we don't know. There's rumors that it represents No, they went straight ahead and said this dude was rocking some white supremacy tattoos and stuff like that. He didn't get the benefit of the doubt. He didn't get all the experts coming in saying, well, actually, that's the representing Christianity. Now, he didn't get that. They didn't work hard to disprove that. Yeah, they were settled on that right there is a white supremacy tattoo. So now Jesse is reminding her about all these bootleg people that, come in and all of a sudden, what do you want me to say about these tattoos? You're paying me, right? Okay, well, good. I don't think those represent MS-13. It's unclear.
Let me ask you this. When a guy hangs out with MS-13 and gets picked up in a gang sweep, how is it that the MS-13 ranking gang members are allowing a non-gang member to hang out with them?
Jesse, see how good it feels to be smart? I've been saying this all 3 weeks or so. They've been talking about this. Why is it that Jessica can't put these clues together? Why is it that all the rest of these fake news networks who are defending this guy can't come to this conclusion? Why is it that they're not able to use their common sense to know that birds of a feather flock together? Isn't that odd? So now, she's not able to put that together? I guess she thinks these hardened criminals, these murderers, these savages are okay with hanging out with a guy who don't want no parts of the MS-13. But they will allow him to get the tattoos, though. But that don't mean you're part of us, though. That don't mean you're part of us. It just means you support us. You like our tattoos and stuff. This is common sense stuff. And that's why I say we're about to witness people working hard to be dumb. That should be your first indicator. Who is this guy affiliated with?
New
Don't
friend.
you think that's a little bit of a security risk, Jessica? That's like when the feds raid a Gambino gambling den. And do you think it would be believable if some Italian guy was like, I'm not in the mob? Yeah, they're just letting random guys play cards in a gambling den with a bunch of mafioso.
1, don't you feel dumb? 2, look at you. Jessica, you're always on the dumb side of things. Always. That's why Jesse said, I can't believe you no more. I mean, I can't believe you if you don't have any common sense to put this together. I know she's married and she just had a baby and all that stuff, but boy, I tell you, man, if you were to meet her single after watching her make excuses for this dude, you would have to conclude this girl's dumb. Nobody want to be hanging out with a person who don't have enough common sense to put these things together. These aren't even hard things to put together. It ain't like fixing a Rubik's Cube. It's just saying, hey, Jessica, maybe you should jump in the car with those MS-13 guys and hang out with them tonight. What do you say? No? Why not? Because they're killers. They're criminals. Why would I want to be hanging out with a gang? Well, apparently, you think it's okay for Garcia to be doing that. Never once. We had the Crips and the Bloods here in Youngstown. I knew many of them. We had all kind of gangs during the 80s and 90s in Youngstown. Do you think that I was stopping to hang out with them? They would see me out. They knew who I was from football. What's up, dog, man? I saw you the other day, man. I heard about you. Give me some love. That was it. It wasn't no, we about to roll over to this party. You want to roll? No. I'm not trying to get caught up, getting shot up while I'm in the car with you guys. If the cops come, I'm trying to explain while I'm in the riding in the back. They invited me to a party. I ain't know they was going to be doing drive-bys. I told them, let me out, but they were like, shut up, you in the car with us now. And then I was like, well, look, man, when the cops come, what you want me to tell them? You think the cops will believe that? Why are you rolling around with them? So Jessica can't put that together. That means she don't have enough common sense to avoid danger. That's what she does. So that's why I say, you can't hook up with nobody like that that's that dumb. You can't avoid that danger? You're talking about, what the heck? Oh, no wonder. Aha. Yeah. There it is. Didn't have the computer plugged in. That's why I kept dying. But yeah, you don't want to be around nobody who lacks that type of common sense. And let's go in the lion's den and hang out and pet the lions. Lions kill and eat people. Oh no, they're cute. No, see, you lack common sense to avoid danger. So now, here she is. She thinks that guy would just be hanging out with MS-13 guys.
Use your brain, Jessica. And I don't even believe you this. Use your brain, Jessica.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
You're a stupid son of a...
Yeah, that's that very moment that she realized, I won the dumbest person contest. Jesse just made it very obvious and clear. Now that he said that out loud, now that he verbally went out there and laid it all out, yeah, that doesn't make sense. How can you fight past what Jesse just presented? She couldn't. All she had to do is just sit there and look like, yeah, and I'm working hard to be dumb. But she's not the only one that's working hard to be dumb. Let's go to CNN.
Breaking news. CNN learning that El Salvador has rejected the Trump administration's request to return Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
No, bring him back.
That is the man who was mistakenly deported to a notorious mega prison over a month ago from Maryland to El Salvador.
And y'all still talking about it. Y'all still are trying your best to make us feel bad for this guy. You're working real hard. Y'all like, you know what? We're getting so much pushback. This is so dangerous politically. But we don't care. We're committed to the stupidity.
One U.S. official telling CNN that El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, has made it clear that he will not release Abrego Garcia.
Yeah.
But, of course, the reality of it is that he's there because Trump sent him there because he asked Bukele to take these deportees.
No. That's not why he's there. He's there because he's a part of MS-13, a domestic terrorist group now. That's why he's there. See, but now all of a sudden it's just he's there because Trump felt like it. He just woke up that day like, you know what, I feel like deporting an innocent, non-gang member guy to El Salvador, of all places, to put him in a supermax prison for no reason. That's why he's there. See, so she's just telling you he's there because Trump put him there, not because that dude deserves to be there.
And Trump is now making a stunning admission.
What?
I mean, it's maybe not, it shouldn't be stunning, but it is because he's actually saying it now. He is saying that he could get Abrego Garcia back if he wanted to.
Yeah, but that would be stupid. He's not a Democrat. He's not a stupid person in the media. He's not a radical liberal who make dumb choices that lead to all kind of stuff happening. He's not running around like these stupid protesters y'all have, talking about some transgenders for Palestine and gay rights for Palestine and stuff. I mean, people know that's stupid. They would mess around, throw you off a building if you went over there, but you just protest for anything. You will welcome danger in. Radical leftists is just like, we like danger. We commit ourselves with our radical activism to stupidity that could lead to danger.
Number one, the children that you mentioned were not deported. They went with their mothers. Their mothers requested that the children come with them. So their mothers were deported because they were illegal aliens.
You hear all of the penguins, all of the chickens clucking. So now Scott's trying to help them out, y'all. But they're going to go ahead and work hard to be dummies. So hard to be dummies. Yeah, man, dumb alert is on.
And they didn't get through the process.
And so to go through they went. So you're
but to go to the process. See, that's their fallback, their default. The process. What process? See, you're trying to sell me on a process that didn't exist to get their butts in here, though. See, how about we use that same process to get them out of here? But the process.
There's really two choices here. Split the family or keep the family together. The U.S. government's policy here was to let the mothers decide. The mothers decided to take the children. That's number one.
And it's odd because, see, today, I didn't put these clips in here, but today I witnessed so many clips of people who covered that story initially, and you think they came out and said those kids were not deported? Nope. Every headline was Trump deports 3 kids ages blank, 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 and 1 with stage 4 cancer. Yeah, man. Yeah, and they made sure to emphasize he deported those kids. And I'm thinking to myself, is that a lie? Is that misleading? You know he didn't deport the kids. But see, these guys aren't going to tell you that. They want you to think Trump's an animal.
Garcia case. Effectively what you all are arguing for. Passionately. And what Democrats are.
Now, Scott's about to try to save them from winning the dumbest person award. He's trying to make it clear. Say it out loud. Now, let me get this straight. What you guys are effectively arguing for, you're fighting for, is what?
passionately arguing for is for the President of the United States to re-import a dangerous member of a transnational terrorist organization.
You see how dumb that sounds when you say it out loud? That's what they're actually arguing for. He had to go and slow it down and make sure he was clear. Because see, this is how the average person will interpret this. But they're going to mix all it up and that the process and then we don't know. And we can't tell if those were actual tattoos. If this, no, we all know what the deal is. This is what you guys are arguing for. When you say it out loud, it don't sound too cool, does it?
Who has clear affiliations with a gang that commits heinous atrocities. That is not what he was elected to do. And whether you bring him back here or not, I'm just going to explain to you the politics of this. Through telling you what the Speaker of the House, Hakeem Jeffries, did today. Which is that he told his members, please, for the love of God, stop going to El Salvador and dying on this hill.
So Hawker Jeffries tried to step up into a leadership position for a second. Not because he believes it. No, it's because it's bad PR for the Democrats and they're out of control. And they know that they're going to be using all of these stupid decisions when it is election time. That's why he told them stop doing that. Not because he's going, stop doing that because y'all should not be trying to bring this dude back to the country. I mean, this dude is dangerous. He should be gone. That's not the issue. Because if that's what they were worried about, they would have been telling Creepy Sleepy and Milk Ass when they were bringing in hundreds and thousands of them a day. They would have told them, stop bringing these people into the country. Do you know that they're going to sprinkle in gang members, murderers, all kind of fentanyl and traffickers? You do know that, right? We just stop bringing them in. So they never said, let's look out for the American people and not bring all these people in that we can't vet and we have no idea what their intentions are. They never stood up for that because they didn't care about it. Now the only reason he's pretending to care about it is because he's going, it just looks bad for us. Because normally, you know, I bring him back. You know that. So, yeah, what else?
The politics of this could not be worse for the left and worse for Democrats because the president knows he was elected to protect us from MS-13, and that is what they are doing. What do you say about the tattoo?
Look at the fake Republican right here, who I have yet to hear her argue any Republican points. I have yet to hear her support any conservative values, policies, anything. She's a full-blown radical leftist pretending to be a Republican. Right off rip, she's questioning Scott. But they.
I say that what Trump said yesterday was an absolute lie.
It's not. They're not.
Wait, are you saying the MS-13 that Donald Trump claims are legitimate tattoos on this guy are true? Are you saying the Photoshop is true?
Are you a tattoo truther?
Yeah, are you a tattoo truther? Get him, Scott. Yeah, shine amongst the dumb. There you go. It feels good to walk amongst the dumb and know you're not one. Doesn't it? Boy, I tell you, I feel that way all the time when I walk through grocery stores and see people still wearing masks. It feels good to walk amongst the dumb and know that you're not one. Yes, continue, Scott.
I don't understand.
Wait, are you a Photoshop denier?
You're getting away from the issue.
Hold on. We are getting away from the issue, Scott. The picture of his knuckles does not say MS-13. It has.
They wanna get into semantics and this and that. Pete Hegseth's tattoo didn't say white nationalism over it, did it? Didn't say that, did it? But y'all just went ahead and said, well, that's a symbol of white nationalism. Is that right? So now, this lady, when they were getting here, let me step in. I'm supposed to be the facilitator, but I'm always going to go ahead and try to attack the Republican. So now, here she is, being naive. See, you're cute dumb now, Abby. You're cute dumb. You're a cute lady, but you're dumb. You're working hard to be dumb. So let's go ahead and continue hearing her try to make excuses with no curiosity, whether these tattoos represent that or not.
Okay, yeah, let me just explain to people
That
what
has
we're
not
talking
been
about
proven
here.
either, Scott.
That has not been proven either, Scott.
They have not said so in
Let
court.
me just explain to people.
They have not said so in court. Because we don't want it to be what it is. None of them want those tattoos to actually represent MS-13. Yeah, they don't care. They don't wish to know. They're hoping that, hey, maybe there's some way, maybe the art is slightly off to where we can say, well, look, the reefer leaf, it's just like normally that it's this way, but it's kind of tilted. Therefore, that doesn't They're hoping they can find a loophole in those big fat tattoos on his knuckles.
People, what we're talking about here, there are symbols on his knuckles. None of them say MS-13.
So what do they represent, Abby? What do they represent? We all know why he put MS-13 above those pictures or those tattoos. We all know what that meant. It's to help dummies like you recognize what that means. It's to help the dumb. See, got to do it, spell it out for you. Okay, this right here. All right, we'll put the M over this. That's what that represents. Okay, for the dummies right there. See how it goes down like this for the dummies.
However, this administration has decided that they symbolize something related to MS-13, which is disputed.
Symbolize. However, this administration have decided, just administration, nothing to do with the past. All those judges he encountered, all of those authority that he ran into, and they say, yeah, that's the symbol of MS-13. It's just Trump and them winging it. Now, I'm pretty sure Trump wasn't an MS-13 tattoo expert either. I'm pretty sure he read the same past in history about MS-13 and was counseled by people who understand the gang culture. I'm pretty sure. They were like, sir, this is actually the symbol and this is what it represents. But according to Abby, it's just Trump. They just making it up.
By a lot of people in gang activists. I am going to move on. No. Hold up.
We always have to play.
Uh-oh, y'all ready for a fight? So one of the smart ones is about to get into a fight with one of the dumb ones. It's going to get physical.
Play this game of interrupting people when they're talking.
But you're
saying... What is the point of me being on the show if I can never finish my freaking point?
Okay,
this is getting...
Yeah, just to pretend that we're fair and balanced. That's why. As we all gang up on the so-called two conservatives, because y'all just picked up a traitor, Anna. She's on y'all squad. So we're not counting her. So right now it's 2 against 4.
Really annoying, Abby.
Hold on.
Everyone else has made their statements. I haven't yet to say anything.
Oh, shoot.
Hold on a second, okay?
I mean, Jesus.
Hold on a second.
That man's mad. You see that face? He's dead serious. I mean, Jesus. Man, I feel you, brother. Tag out and tag me in. They need another black man on the set. I'll tag in. Jump in like Hulk Hogan. Double axe handle. Throwing him in the Bob Backlund chicken wing and end him with the Super Jimmy Superfly snooker dive. That's what I would do. Might even bite him like George the Animal Steel. There it is. But I'm going to let this brother handle it for now.
Because I want to say something, and I have a point of view to make it as well.
Hang on just one second. Share, Michael. Let me ask you a question.
Okay. Now, she's about to make a statement and pretend I'm asking you a question.
The question is, has the government presented evidence in court that Abrego Garcia is a member of MS-13?
And my response...
And the answer is no.
Oh, she answered her own question. How you like that? The answer is no. Okay, forget what all the judges said back then. Until we go through a long, drawn-out trial where we're bringing in witnesses, former people who were part of MS-13. And even then, they'll probably say, he could be lying. No, I'm the one that started MS-13. I'm the original. I'm telling you, those are our tattoos. Now, you know what? This guy's an imposter. We don't believe him. No matter what you presented, they're so far in with this garbage, they would go, that's questionable. We need more proof. So they're going to ride the dumb train until it falls off the rails.
Has not happened in court, but it doesn't mean that they have not made those claims publicly. It doesn't mean that those claims are not in police reports.
In 2019.
It doesn't mean that they're not in police reports. They're just not statements.
Well, why are they all in there, Abby? They're in courts. They're in police reports. You're starting to see a pattern. Starting to see the connection. But you're still saying, but they never went to the court to prove that he was the MS-13. Boy, these people are working hard to be dumb. And it's so frustrating. Really, they're working hard to be corrupt and manipulate people. They know that this guy's corrupt and evil. They know he's an MS-13 gang member. But they've taken the side to argue it like they are his defense attorneys or something. But really, they're the Democrats' defense attorneys. They're trying to keep all of these people here. So now they're going to frustrate the black man to the point where he loses it.
In 2019, the immigration judge at the time believed the Prince George's County gang unit and the evidence.
The gang unit, not you, Abby, not you, Anna Navarro. The gang unit said what?
That they presented before that judge at the time that Mr. Garcia did indeed belong to a gang.
And what did the judge say?
This is not my opinion. People can Google this crap.
And you see Anna's face? You see Anna's face? She don't like it. She don't like the truth. And the truth on her is like holy water on a demon. Yeah, you see her. You can already tell right now. She's thinking, how can I get around that fact that this man just dropped out there and still try to pretend it makes sense?
Crap. They can Google this. CBS reported on this. If the judge believed it in 2019, is it now all of a sudden not true?
Absolutely. Yeah, because we need it to not be true. See?
Granted him a withholding of removal.
No, I acknowledge that fact.
Granted from withholding a removal. So now he's talking about the removal. He's talking about this guy got a chance to stay in our country and not be deported, which he was scheduled for deportation. But they just said he couldn't go back to El Salvador. Why not? Every door they try to go through, it gets slammed in their face with truth. So now you just brought up, okay, going back to El Salvador, he had to stay because he couldn't go back to El Salvador. Why couldn't he go back? Why couldn't he go back? Because of what? Oh, he might be killed by what? Rival gang members. That's one more clue. One more puzzle to the he's a gang member piece. Boy, these folks are dumb, man.
Is a different issue. Hold on.
But the point remains that a judge found the evidence to be credible that Mr. Garcia did indeed belong to a gang. So now all of a sudden we're just not going to believe judges?
Yeah, they don't want to believe those type of judges. Any judges that blow up their narrative and doesn't protect their precious illegal immigrant. That we don't have to believe them.
Judge,
we can't have it both ways.
I don't want to go too far down this rabbit
hole. I know you
don't.
don't.
My only point is that the government has not presented beyond the police report. They've not actually presented the evidence to prove that he belonged to this gang.
So police reports are not considered evidence before?
Yeah, according to them, police reports are not considered evidence. There it is. Yeah, they wasn't. Do you know what the court was not there when he got the tattoo. Therefore, they cannot, and we have no witnesses to saw that it was actually a tattoo put on his fingers. I mean, those could be birthmarks. All of those could just be birthmarks. That we don't have the evidence. Why would we waste the time? And this is the whole reason they're trying to defend all of these cases, especially his, is because they want us to waste the time. Right now, they're working against the clock. That's what they're doing. They're saying if we could find a way to slow down the process of deporting all of these people as quickly as they were brought in, hopefully we could run out the clock with Trump and then maybe slide in somebody else to where they can stop this mess by saying, you know what? All these people need due process. We're just going to go ahead and give them all amnesty. It costs too much to deport them all. I'm going to tell you right now, I would take a hit financially if they said, look, we all got to ante up to deport all these illegal immigrants, and it's going to cost you at least $100 out of your paycheck every 2 weeks. But we got to get them out of here. I'd be like, sign me up. I'm good. I'm good with that. Yeah. But instead, they were taking money out of our paychecks to bring them in. They didn't ask us, though. They didn't ask us. Bringing them in, flying them everywhere, giving them stuff, and now you want to whine about some dang on, we need more proof and this due process and he needs to come back home. Y'all sound stupid, man. That's why the segment is called Working Hard to Be Dumb.
Court of law?
Police
Do
report.
judges not consider police reports? What are we saying?
Michael, what was the
But
original?
it's relevant.
I actually want to hear.
It's not relevant. It is relevant. You hear him? Do you hear the whole cask of monkey shine right there? And Abby got the lead role. Whole cast of monkey shine. You hear them dudes chiming in. There's no.
It absolutely is relevant to the argument from the administration, which is that Mr. Garcia belonged to a gang as one of the reasons of deporting him out of the country.
Thank you. It's extremely relevant to this whole argument. That's the only way we know about Mr. Garcia is from those court records, those police encounters, and his wife's, complaint about him beating her up. That's how we know about this guy. And it is relevant. But according to them, nothing is relevant. Whatever he did in the past means nothing. Right now, we need to start fresh with due process for this guy.
But you guys are saying there's no truth here. There's no facts. That's not true.
See, now, stupidity will make you mad. It'll frustrate you. When you are sitting amongst the dumb, and they're throwing out even more dumber and dumber statements, you get a little frustrated. And that's why temper's about to flare.
But the idea that Mr. Garcia's past doesn't matter is ludicrous. We live in a sovereign nation, and this idea that people can just come into our country and do whatever the heck they want to do.
Yeah. So now it's about to get convoluted. Oh, my man said, look, we're a sovereign nation. You think we should just open our doors and let people come right in the country and do whatever, and then we got to go ahead, and it's hard to get them out? There you go. I'm here safe. I'm safe. I'm in the country. Now, to get me out, it's going to cost a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of resources. Plus, not to mention, evil folks who welcomed me here and encouraged me to come are going to be fighting you all the way to make me stay. That's how they want to roll. So here it comes, y'all.
It's absurd to me. And if Democrats want to die on this hill, I promise you'll regret it politically. So go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I want to die on the hill of stupidity. So yes, of course. They've picked some of the worst topics, issues, and policies to die on the hill on. Transgender kids, athletes, stupid stuff like that, man. So now in come the so-called bootleg Republican, Ana Navarro, who is going to ignite the fire. And I'm going to have to ring the bell. Ding.
Go right ahead. We don't want people breaking our laws coming into our country.
Thank you.
Let me let Scott have.
We don't want people breaking the laws coming into our country. Just like you won't want them doing that to your house. So now they trying to jump him. They trying to jump the brother. Hey, they done surrounded him and Scott. Now they got to go back to back. All right, dog, you got me? You got me? All right. So let's see how it goes.
Have a word and then we'll move on.
It seems to me that the political analysis of this, though, is, and a lot of average people are looking at it this way. Why is it that we can let 20 million people into the country just walk across, whatever, and there's no...
Look at Anna. You see that? You see Miss Piggy? Donald Trump. He's a man baby. That's what he is. He's a man baby. So now Miss Piggy is over there with a smug look on her face. Like what Scott is saying is stupid. It's probably motivated by racism and xenophobia, according to the dummy. The dumb so-called Republican. So now he's dropping out what I call common sense views on this whole thing. Yeah, but not the dummies. The dummies can't take this common sense and apply it. So what are they going to do? Have a problem with it.
No real process for them to do that. But then we have to individually pick out every single person and go through years upon years upon years of paperwork and this and that and the other. And all we're trying to do is send them back to where they came from.
Yeah, we're not trying to execute them. We're not trying to throw them in some gulags unless they are gangbangers and criminals. We just want them to go home. That is the most polite thing you could ask. And we even offering ways to get them home. We didn't say, get your butt to step and hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back. We didn't do that. We said, look, we'll even throw you on a plane, on a bus, just send you home. That's all we want. We just want you gone. Want to see you home. Okay? That's all we want. You would think we were beating these people, throwing them in slavery or something like that. We're saying you came in quick and illegal. We want you gone quick. Okay? And legal. Because it's legal for us to send you back. But not to the fake Republican here who you can see she's queuing up for some stupidity.
Because they came here illegally in the first place. 20 million in with no process. How do you get 20 million out with years and years of people fighting every single case?
Well, that's the whole goal. There you go. They want it to be so jammed up like constipation. Yeah, that's what they want. Constipation of illegal immigrants in our country. There it is. No matter how much you strain to get it out, it's not going. So here she is, about to chime in, tag some stupidity in.
You can cherry pick any case you want. But the reality is the crisis that put Donald Trump in the White House was caused over years and years and years of neglect and letting people walk into here without any process.
Yeah, but that's not it. Here it is. Unleash the dumbness. Now, are you a Republican or a Democrat? Why are you trying to defend this? Okay. All the real Republican voters and the whole base is going, what are you defending this for? We believe in law and order. Okay. These folks need to be gone. But according to her.
And now you're trying to gum up the works to keep them here.
A lot of them came in with parole. A lot of them came in with parole.
CNN polling shows 54% of Americans want Mr. Garcia.
That's some real raggedy polling. If CNN polled that 56 of Americans want Garcia back in the country, then you lied or deceived these people in that poll. Okay. Or you only polled probably 1,000 radical leftists. Because you can't tell me if you laid down the facts about this man's background and you polled Americans, that you get 56% of them saying, yeah, bring him back. Why not? Let's waste the money and time to just come to the same conclusion that, he was MS-13 gangbanger. Yeah, well, that's $7,000 later. We done brought him back, and only to prove it to the dummies. So now, here it is. Ding, ring the bell.
Donald Trump won the election.
You are a sovereign nation, and you cannot just come into our country illegally whenever the heck you want, because we can't do it to any other country on the face of this earth.
Common sense. The brother got brains. The brother got brains. Man, you would think Abby would be like, boy, it's so refreshing to hear a brother on a set that's smart and they talking about white supremacy, racism, xenophobia. Yeah, Trump is a Nazi. Yeah, isn't that refreshing, clean cut, smart, intelligent brother, Abby? But you hating on the brother. So now he's saying you just can't come in our country. And, we're a sovereign nation, if y'all don't forget, Democrats.
It's illegal, right?
If you come in illegally, you have to leave. Americans are tired of that. We do not have unlimited resources.
You know who was here illegally with the deportation order? Marco Rubio's grandfather.
Do you know who was that illegal deportation and Marco Rubio's father? So what's the solution, Miss Piggy? Let them all stay. Yeah, I guarantee you, if you gave her ultimate power and said, okay, you are the decider right now. You can decide what happens to all 11 plus million, really probably closer to 30 million illegal immigrants that's in our country. Gang members and all. You can only make one or two decisions. Either you got to send them all back or you got to let them all stay. And letting them all stay would include all the bad apples as well. So you make the call. Send them all back to be sure that none of them end up killing or hurting an American, or let them all stay and let the details just work itself out. I guarantee you she'd say, let them all stay. Yeah, despite the risk to Americans, despite the toll on our economic system, she would say, let them all stay.
All right,
We're not talking about Marco Rubio.
Now we're not.
It's not
No,
relevant.
I'm talking about Marco Rubio because Marco Rubio used to be an advocate for TPS for Venezuela. And Marco Rubio used to be an advocate.
Oh, shoot. We got the two people of color duking it out, y'all. Oh, everybody back up. All right. We're going to let this, I'm going to watch this fight. I'm going to watch this one, okay? Dang on it. I've been waiting to see a fight all week, and I'm going to watch this one until I get tired, and ain't nobody breaking it up. Ding.
Let me tell you my beliefs.
No, I know you're not.
This country illegally, you are going home. Simple as that. We do not have unlimited resources.
I think a lot of Americans
to take care of other people.
Oh, you hear the ref? You hear the ref? Ref did not tell you ain't nobody breaking this. Get your butt out the way. Because if you enter this country illegally, you're going home according to the smart black Republican versus the sellout Republican.
Other than the black people who were brought here as slaves who came to this country illegally.
What? A lot of people came to this country. Then the only one on their own, but the court except the black people who were brought here illegally. Okay. They always try to bring, I don't even know why you even brought that up to make a point. Because these same Democrats will also try to make black people think that we have something in common. with illegal immigrants. Back in the day when the narrative was Trump is ripping. He's ripping all these babies from these precious, gentle, undocumented citizens. Yeah, they tried to make us think this is the same as how they did the Africans by taking their children from them, ripping their babies. So can't y'all understand and get on board with our stupidity as we shove these people right into your neighborhoods? Huh? I mean, don't you see the parallel? No, we don't. No, we don't. So she brings up slavery somehow, and she's talking about all these people who've come. Now, my question to you, Anna, regardless of what they said they were here for, regardless of what mucus and Democrats allowed them access into our country under some new bootleg legitimate reason, okay, we're going to let you come, we'll give you rights to this, and you're here for this and that, just so you can make it real easy for any of these people to come into the country. Yeah, anything you can put down for asylum. And they let all these people come, and they so-called came and that they were legitimate because of this and this and that. No, we're not just starting the country. This ain't one of those, we're not in the year where everybody was coming in from all over the globe and, settling here and trying to figure out what land they can have. We're not in that stage anymore. We now have a functioning sovereign government and nation. So these folks can't just be rushing up on the scene talking about, I'm here for asylum because I want a better life. I came here because of climate change. No, you should have limited reasons why they should let you come in here for some asylum. But mucus and all of them opened it up by watering it down. Thus now y'all are saying all these people had legitimate reasons to be here, trying to trick us and make us think that these folks had legitimate cases. No. They saw an opportunity that was given to them by the raggedy behind Democrats, starting with Biden talking about something. If I was them, you got to surge the border. Starting with that crap. And sure enough, they surged the border with any old excuse. So y'all can say, well, they're not here illegally. They came out that legitimately. No, they didn't. Y'all made them legitimate by lowering the standard. And now your dumb butt is trying to bring up slavery. But boy, she done did it now.
They're not the same as black people who were brought here against our will.
That's exactly what I just said. I said there is a lot of
There is a big difference. There's a big difference.
That's exactly what I just said, Sir Michael. You can act indignant. That's exactly what I just said.
Let me just share Michael.
They fighting.
Anna and share Michael.
Y'all hear that annoying voice in the background is interrupting the fight? Okay, wait, no, guys, stop. You know what? Break it up. Yeah, so we don't want to hear her.
There are a lot of people from
Share
many,
Michael, I think
many
you actually misheard what she. I think you misheard what she said.
There's just people from many other countries who came here illegally, and that's a problem. Why would you even bring that up as a point? Many people from many other countries came here illegally. Now, are you talking about back in the days where, of course, I know what she's talking about, because you can't say they came here illegally once we were formed as a legitimate government in a country. So I'm sure she's probably referring to all of the settlers who decided to brave the oceans to come here and see this new brand land. No, they didn't come illegally. They found some land. They ran into some natives there. The natives didn't have no paperwork to say they own this land or that land. Everybody was fighting it out. And certain people won and certain people didn't. But you want to say illegally? No. They didn't show up at the shores and they're like, stop right there. What's your business here on this continent right here? This continent belongs to. No, that's not how it worked. So who are these people you refer to? As many people came here legally into the country. That's a problem if they came here illegally. You're trying to make it seem like it's a good thing or something. Or it helps your argument. I'm going, no, that helps our argument. They shouldn't have.
She said.
No, he purposely misheard.
She said.
He purposely misheard.
Yes, she did.
So now you're in my.
Share Michael, listen to me for just a second.
Is that where we're going?
You think I would say I would have advocated for black people my entire life and say something like that?
Anna, because you've advocated for black people, great, congratulations. Last time I checked, I'm black, you're not.
Oh, share Michael.
That's right. I'm Latino and my people are being racially profiled.
It is.
Oh, God. Her rebuttal, her lame overhand right with that limp wrist. I'm Latino and my people are being racially profiled. Like black people ain't never suffered racial profiling. But yet, at the same time, her people aren't being racially profiled. See how it works? Yeah, to stop any type of consequences, bring up some other motive. There it is. ICE just riding around. What do you think, Johnson? He has a little melanin in his skin. He could be Latino. And if that's the case, let's deport him. Let's not even ask, are you an American citizen? Yeah, let's not even have probable cause to roll up on someone who might look Puerto Rican or something and just throw them in the back and deport them. Yeah, let's do that. Or could it be that millions and millions of folks who happen to be Latino came into our country illegally? That's not racial profiling. That is recognizing the current situation, you dummy. A racial profiling. So what? We're not allowed to arrest any of the folks that came here from Latin America illegally because, oops, we don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. We don't want to assume that you're of Latin descent and you're an illegal immigrant. I'm sure they have a little more information before they decide to bust down somebody's door, pick them up somewhere or whatever, and it has nothing to do with racial profiling. But here she is trying to bring that up, and then he ends her with this.
And do I have to remind you the history of my people?
Oh,
do I want to go there?
I don't.
Do you really
Okay.
want to go there?
The ref can't break this one up, y'all. This one probably went on after they went to commercial.
Raul, we're going to go to break. Raul Reyes, thank you very much for joining us. Everybody else, hang tight.
That turned into the Ricky Lake Show, y'all. Little bit of Jerry Springer. A little bit of Jerry Springer. What? You want to go there? Woo-wee. And they're supposed to be both Republicans. Does that sound like she's a Republican? No. Okay. So wonderful fight. I love that. I like seeing that. Oh, let's get back to the 100 days, though. Okay, here we go.
For days, we've seen $160 billion doged, useless agencies shuttered, DEI terminated, inflation's down, but nothing's more down than border crossing.
What?
Down 99.9%.
Out of the last 100 days, what is the number one thing that you think President Trump and his team have done?
You know what? It doesn't matter. We want that illegal immigrant back to our country. That's what we want. Because apparently the rumor that the left have been working real hard on leading up to the first 100 days by bringing Rachel Madcow even back to cover his first 100 days is to give a report at the end of his first 100 days saying that he stinks, everybody hates him, everybody's regretting it, and the poll numbers are all dropping. That's the whole goal of the fake news, to cover his first 100 days. You think they was going to let these 100 days pile up without building some fake narratives to try to make it seem like, oh, he's dropped the ball, everybody hates him, they're regretting all that stuff. But when you talk to the real people, and not the fake news and their fake polls, this is what you get.
Secure that border.
The border.
Immigration law, baby.
After complaining about the bad hombre mugshots on the White House lawn.
Yeah, because we don't want to mischaracterize these people because they need due process. You see all those people right there? Due process. All those horrible things underneath their name, like murderer, gang member, drug dealer, all of those things. They're unproven. Due process.
MSNBC is being forced into the field to talk to people, and the people say Trump's killing it.
Let's see. Because, see, they went and they talked to the people, and they're thinking we're all going to be mad and stuff, and we're not. But before we get to that, here comes a hater. The number one hater. Y'all ready? Here she goes.
Josh, the lies against Donald...
Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. She's coming right after this. Because here's another hit piece they tried to drop on Trump recently. I told you all about this last night. Remember this?
Trump are getting ever more absurd. Now they're accusing him of disrespecting the late Pope and the Vatican by wearing a blue suit to Pope Francis's funeral. The fake news here just spread like wildfire. It starts with this headline. The Vatican asked Pope Francis' funeral attendees to wear all black. Trump wore a blue suit.
Well, look at that. Now, if I'm a dummy, I'm looking at this very small square that they, for whatever reason, decided to focus on. And it looks like Trump is sitting amongst all those black suits with his blue suit on. Blue, 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 blue. So now, he right there is disrespecting the Pope. Disrespecting him, okay? However, we're about to find this is a cheap fake. It's a cheap fake. They whined about Joe Biden when he was wandering off overseas. Like, is that a parachute? I'm going over here to talk to them. No, come back over here. And said we were putting together a cheap fake show. It wasn't telling the whole truth. So now, if I'm looking at this and I'm a Catholic, I'm feeling like Trump disrespected the Pope.
And this is the image they used with that story, a carefully cropped photo, deliberately hiding all the men in blue suits, including...
Oh my. The fake news is at it again. Anything to make Trump look bad. With all their lies and deception. So we got Prince Henry, or whatever his name is, I don't know. We got all these other leaders, including Joe Biden.
Prince William and all sorts of other dignitaries. And as you can see in the wider shots, these publications...
Look at those blue suits. How can you justify this as whoever put the story together and purposely tried to deceive their audience? Now, there's more blue suits, or at least about the same amount of blue suits in that audience as there are black. And yet they cropped out a very small... Now you see what we're working with? Now, you could show dummies this deception and they still wouldn't care. You could show them, like, dude, if they're willing to do this, how many other times have they deceived you about Trump? Now you can't see the very clear, assertive effort to make Trump look like he's something that he's not, or doing something he didn't do. Understand, you're the victim. They won't even see themselves as a victim. They won't get mad and upset by seeing something manipulating them like this. They will just move on to that. So what then, man? I ain't nothing. You can have them arguing about this, and you go, okay, I'm gonna let you go ahead and argue. Yeah, man, what's up with your boy Trump, man? He up here, man. You see what he did over there overseas, man? Why Trump? He just want to do whatever he want to do, man. He want to be the king. He want to be the king. Let them sit back and argue and make their point, and then you can show them the deception. And they go, man, so what then, man? Whatever, man. Is Trump still... You would think they would wake up and say, these people are lying to us to control our opinions and our emotions.
Have gone out of their way to kind of mislead. And we've seen publications from the UK to the US, Josh, spreading this fake news about Trump's blue suit.
Yeah, but here it comes. She's the #1 fake news spreader. That's why they brought Rachel Madcow back into the studio to make her earn her propaganda money, because she was brought in to cover his first 100 days and do a hit piece at the end. So here's her summary about Trump's first 100 days. Now I'm thinking, it's a celebration. We were all celebrating Trump's first 100 days, but not everybody's happy about it. So here comes the cow. But before we do that, this is her pass, okay, talking about polls, because she's about to say the polls show that Trump is horrible.
We are still in a news environment in which there are good polls. And particularly where in some states there is a gold standard pollster who appears to be unaffected by larger dynamics that are making everybody whine about the polls. And the reason those individual pollsters get the gold standard designation is both because of their proven sound methodology, but also because of their track record over time in that particular jurisdiction.
Yeah, where you going with this, Madcow? Because remember, this is when Trump was running against chameleon Kamala Harris. And at the last second, a poll just popped up about, I think it was Iowa, that Trump was losing to chameleon.
And the prototypical example of a gold standard poll is the Iowa poll done by Ann Selzer, by J. Ann Selzer in Iowa. The poll.
And she wanted us to believe this poll. Remember, this is the same propagandist that supported this poll. She the one broke that story about this poll. Yeah. Had everybody on edge like, what? If Trump is losing Iowa, we might be in trouble.
That she produces for the Des Moines Register in Iowa, specifically the final Iowa polls she does before each major election. Her polls are known for their uncanny predictive accuracy. This is that poll, and it is a shock result. It shows Kamala Harris ahead of Donald Trump by 3 points.
Don't you believe it? Where's Tom from Tom and Jerry when we need him? Don't you?
In Iowa. We have a very different race on our hands than we thought we did.
Very different race on our hands.
The next day,
former President Trump will win the state of Iowa.
Trump is performing well in rural areas.
55.7
to former President Trump.
To 43. What about that poll? That accurate poll. So now the person who pushed a fake poll is about to come back now and tell us about another fake poll about Trump in his first 100 days.
16 and 2020. This obviously comes in the wake of a lot of focus on a poll that shall not be named.
That's right. Cry, baby, cry. Cry, baby, cry. Loser.
Because these people have gone stone cold crazy.
Yeah, sure.
But I've beaten them all my life. And I'll beat them again if I have to.
Here she is now.
Very provocative headline there. Are things falling apart for Trump? I don't know, but let's look. Let's look at the evidence from the Post tonight. Multiple polls this week showed Trump hitting new lows.
More polls from that liar. So now here she is, y'all. The conclusion of her first 100 days with Trump. Did you think she was going to try to come out and be fair and balanced? Do you think she was covering this first 100 days to present a fair and balanced presentation to the people? So now we got to rely on the people on the street to find out really what they feel about Trump versus this liar. Her whole purpose was to lie. So let's go ahead and watch her pretend to be serious.
His approval rating has been double digits underwater in surveys from the Pew Research Center, where he's minus 19, the Economist YouGov poll, where he's minus 13, the Reuters Ipsos poll, where he's minus 11, and now Fox News, where he's also minus 11. Trump was already more unpopular at this point in his presidency than any modern president not named Donald Trump.
So you see the propaganda? Let's save all of these crazy poll numbers. Right? Time it up, right? It is 100 days. Save them. Because see, leading up to that, we were hearing Trump's approval rating is still high. Trump's approval rating is, and then all of a sudden, like in the last week or two, right before his first 100 days, all of these new poll numbers come out, y'all.
He's now flirting with falling below where he was even at this point in his historically unpopular first term. So yeah.
Historically unpopular first term that made him win the second term. That's how historically unpopular it was. If it was that unpopular, then nobody would have voted him in this time. I mean, you think people are waiting to vote Joe Biden back in after Trump? You think they're sitting back going, man, we missed Joe Biden, man, too. We had it good under creepy. After Trump, man, I'll bring Joe Biden back. Nobody's thirsting after him. When Trump was beaten, or should I say cheated, all of his supporters were going, please run again. Please run again. We cannot let these folks win like that, or should I say cheat us like that. We were excited about his return. But according to Rachel Maddow, his first term was unpopular, and so is the second one.
Yeah, what was that? What was the headline in the Post tonight again?
Look at her.
Are things falling apart for Trump?
You hear the sarcasm? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
On every front.
You see that, liar? With glee, she said that. Yep. Yep. Because we're telling you it is.
His voters are along for the ride, and they're loving it.
I think the first 100 days has been a breath of fresh air.
What? Maddow, did you interview her? Was she a part of this poll? Look at all these Trump supporters. Look at all those. Not the ones you guys, pay to come out and act like radical liberals and then trying to tell us those are conservatives that are upset about Trump not allowing boys to go into girls' bathrooms. I'm going, that's not a conservative. Uh-huh.
I think that everybody's been waiting for change, no matter what party you are. Right. I feel that the change is undeniable. And so this is the first 100 days. I can't wait to see what the first, 1,000 days.
Yes! In your face, big nose, Humpty Dumpty nose. Freestyle, meanwhile I keep the beat kicked in. Let's continue, because she gets stupid. She was there like Cupid. What does this lady got to say?
I would expect to have so much going on and so many things that the administration said they were going to do actually happen.
Wow! You hear that? These folks said, man, I didn't even expect it to be that good. He's superseding my expectations. He came out the blocks full speed, and I'm loving it. I'm cheering him on as he's going down the track. Go Trump. Don't slow down.
And Lawrence from Montgomery County voted for President Trump.
Are you happy with your choice?
I am. I am totally excited. Everybody I know is excited.
Everybody she knows. Now, I don't know one Trump supporter right now, and I know a lot of them, that is going, man, you think we made the right choice? Not one. Every single Trump supporter I know is going, man, he is killing it. So let's continue, though, because Rachel Maddow is saying he's unpopular.
My biggest issue is the border, and he's killing it. Well, absolutely.
You mean the same border that the Democrats are still trying to fight to make sure these people stay over here? The same issue that cost them the election, while you're hearing all of these people saying, my issue was the border. What are they doing? Leaving our border, going down there, El Salvador, to bring some more people who broke across our border back into the country. And they think that's a winning strategy.
Absolutely, everybody that's here illegally should go. I'm not one of these that, oh, the poor person. No, they need to go.
You hear this tough granny? You know grannies usually get all busted up on the inside. They usually, oh, come here, baby. Let me give you some sugar. It's okay. Not this one. This granny is like, look, don't even be coming to me talking about they deported the kids and they got cancer. And what about the ripping and this guy, due process? Granny don't want to hear that. And neither do I. And not one Trump supporter I know is like, well, you think you might be going a little too far with the... No, they're all going, can we pick up the pace a little? I want more. I want more gone.
They came in illegally.
Border crossings are down 99%. I spoke with President Trump on Sunday. He told me 3 people were apprehended at the border in the month of April.
3? Compared to how many? How many under the last month or so of creepy? So remember, I can't do nothing about the border. I said, you know what? Congress gotta act. This is greater than me. However, somehow Trump figured it out. So 3 compared to what?
Compared with 248,000.
Holy moly mackerel. Good googly moo. Sweet mother God. You telling me 3 compared to 240 something thousand? What could be the factor? Trump. But yet, his first 100 days were horrible.
It's remarkable. In the month last year, 1 year ago, that's the migration and immigration story. Now let's take a look at inflation. You and I talked about eggs a long time ago. The price of eggs are down 50%.
What? So I'm gonna go buy me a couple dozen cartons so I can throw them at the Democrats. Now I can spare a little bit on some eggs so I can hurl them at Mad Cow. Let's continue.
Look at where mortgage rates are down. Look at oil prices are down. So when you take a look at what President Trump said that he was going to do, it is a huge success in terms of these first 100 days.
Well, why can't Rachel Maddow see that? Oh, because she's wearing TDS glasses. She's looking through the lens of propaganda. The goal is to come out and say, let me ignore all these wonderful things. And let me come up with a fake bootleg poll that's designed to change the view of how people are seeing what Trump is doing. That's what it is right there. Yeah, she didn't come out to try to say, yeah, let's recognize some good things. Nope, because see, when all of these things sucked under Joe Biden, she wasn't focusing on those things. She wasn't talking about the high gas prices and the egg prices.
How are you feeling about the start of this administration and what has happened so far?
He's doing exactly what I hired him for.
He's doing exactly what I hired him for. But the fake news say he doesn't have a mandate to do this. They didn't give him a mandate to. He's doing exactly. I expected him to deport people. There you go. I would have been disappointed if he didn't. I would feel like he lied to me and deceived me like the Democrats be doing their voters if he didn't. Everything that Trump is doing, I'm going, yeah, I expected that. You ain't hear him mention it? You didn't hear him talking about that on the campaign trail? Name a president that gets in the office and just does that. Jump knee deep into everything he said I'm going to do. So we're not shocked about all these things, and yet they're telling us the polls show that.
I think it's great. I'm patient. I know that the tariff thing is going to take a little time. They're deporting the illegal aliens, the criminals. Eggs have gotten cheaper. Yeah. Everything else has gotten cheaper.
But Mad Cow is blinded by that mad cow disease. Well, she can't see that. She can't see the eggs getting cheaper, all of that stuff. She can't see the vision because she's not there to do that. She's there to create a false vision for all of the folks who are ignorant.
I feel safer.
So yeah, what was that? What was the headline in the Post tonight again?
Yeah, tell me again.
Are things falling apart for Trump?
Yeah. Look, yeah. Now you see that? Yeah, you see that's the face of evil. Pure D, 100% evil. A willful intentional deceiver. That's what she is. She's a complete fraud. She's lying. The truth isn't in her. And then she's celebrating. If what she felt was true and Trump was horrible and stinking it up, she would be happy. She wants that. She wants Trump to fail, which indirectly causes us to fail. But when she was covering a failing president of Joe Biden, she lied to make people think he was doing a great job. The face of deception. That is the face of the mad cow, y'all.
Yep.
Yep.
On every front.
On every front. Oh, boy. So, guys, here we go.
Republicans have been facing a lot of heat at town halls, but also Democrats.
Oh, wait a minute, though. Because, see, the fake news gave the Democrats their talking point right around the first 100 to be able to come out and say, look, the Democrats, Trump is unpopular, but they won't address how unpopular they are. They won't give you any solutions or anything to counter what they claim Trump is unpopular over. So watch Mr. Burns walk right into it.
Have been as well. And there's a lot of frustration towards members of your party, not just from voters, but we're even hearing it from members of your own caucus. I want you to listen to your colleague, Colorado Senator Michael Bennet, what he said this week.
I am furious with the Democratic Party because, in my view, our inability to offer a compelling vision and articulate it to the American people has resulted in Donald Trump being elected not just once, but twice.
Good. Yeah. So let's see if he can see through these glasses that sits on the bottom of his nose clearly enough to understand what that man is saying.
We need to come to grips with that, and we need to ask ourselves why that is.
What do you think?
Well, look, no, we're doing very well. We are.
What? That man's delusional. Look what. Apparently, you're not able to look and see the truth. Maybe if you pull those up off your nose and cover your eyes, you'll be able to see. But nonetheless, look, we're doing very well because I said we are. What am I supposed to say? We suck. So I'm going to do what I always do, is lie.
We are totally united in focusing on Trump.
Focusing on Trump.
Well, look, no, we're doing very well. We are totally united.
2 days later.
New polling shows Democratic leadership with only a 27% approval. It's a record low for the party in CNN polling back.
That's worse than what they claim Trump is. That's what that is. See, maybe we should look at their first 100 days. But we're going to get a snapshot of it in a second.
To 2008.
Holy moly. Holy moly.
Well, look, no, we're doing very well.
What do they need to do? What is their challenge?
Yeah, tell us.
Well, the challenge is that they've got on the Senate side incredibly ineffective and, frankly, out of touch leadership.
No way. The Democrats? Out of touch? You mean to tell me they don't know what appeals to the average American? Are you kidding me? Show me an example.
I will build this world from love.
There he is again.
I will build this world from love.
Oh, God. You hear that, choir? They all started off in the key of X flat, key of -3. I will build this of love. They don't want to be there. They don't want to be singing this stupid song. They know they look ridiculous up there as this guy directs the Democrat choir, y'all. Let's hear some more of them.
Not too bad.
No, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. It was piss poor. That's what it was.
Yada die, yada die, yada die, die.
Oh, God, they all sound like they're dying. That's what it sounds like. Yada die, die, die. We're all dying. Are you kidding me? You hear that? They weren't ready for that. But obviously, this is very appealing to average Americans, right? This is driving it home. We don't even know why they're there, what their purpose is, what the policies they're pushing, what they're resisting. We don't know. We just see a lot of these dummies sitting on the steps singing in different notes. I will build a clay. With a guy that's supposed to be a rabbi, and I guess this is I don't know if that's an LGBT Shah he got on. But let's finish here and close out. Come on, choir.
And you must build this world from love.
Come on, y'all.
And you must build this world from love.
Oh, God. Sound like somebody ringing about 1 zillion cats. You must be of love. Yep, cringe.
This is the worst.
Yeah. That's why they're not appealing to anybody. Yeah, when we see stupid stuff like that, them trying to pull these little stunts, getting up there singing songs and, pretending we're still during, just coming out of slavery and segregation and talk about we're fighting for this and sitting up there whining and doing what Booker did, all this stuff. This stuff does not appeal to the average American. They think that it does, though.
If I were a Democrat right now, I would not be looking to the Senate or the House.
No.
I'd be looking to the governors.
The governors? What governors could you be talking about? Because they all run S-hole ran states and cities.
The people who actually have to administer policies day by day.
Give me an example.
Let the governors stand up, come forward with why they've been successful in their states.
Successful? Uh-oh. Is that California? It's kind of trashy. Where's that doodle map? Yeah, look at that. Boy, somebody is working through the obstacle of drug users and homeless folks right there. You see that? Yeah, you want to go to Cali and negotiate your way through that mess right there? Nope.
Join us in California.
Yeah, I'll pass. That doesn't look good. That does not look good.
Join us in California.
Unbelievable. So, guys, we're going to close, though, because the Democrats, they only have one play left. Impeachment. They're non-relatable. People don't support them. Their poll numbers are in the tank. They have no real leadership. So we got a couple people who, of course, are going to try to step up and become a leader. Starting with AOC running around saying stupid stuff like this, guys. Yeah, she was more.
We should never take impeachment off the table. We should never take where we see law breaking. We should never take accountability off the table. And I don't think that we should be, promising anything.
Yeah, because right now you don't have the power to make the promise and follow through with it. But we all know you're licking your chops to impeach Trump. We all know all these Democrats. That is their only resort. So soon, if they were to get the House, immediately they would have articles of impeachment ready. Just like they tried to lie and pretend they weren't going to try to impeach him the first time. Nasty Pelosi. Impeachment is a very serious thing. We want to make sure we do it right and gather all of the evidence. No, that was the plan from the start. All of this crap about we don't want to get ahead of things and, we all know y'all have no other alternative. You can't beat Trump face to face, one-on-one. You can't do it. Your party sucks. Your squad stinks. You have no depth. They can't come off the bench. They all are whacked. They will lose, and they have to simply say, well, we're just going to have to fight dirty and impeach him for something. Make it up. We don't care. So here she is, who most likely will be trying to run for either the Senate or president, as she pretends that no, we're not just going to jump out there and impeach. But hey, nothing's off the table when you're evil as Trump.
The way that Trump tries to promise certain, locking up his political enemies. But I do believe that our legal processes exist for a reason. Impeachment exists for a reason. And it should absolutely be on the table. It should be on the table for every president.
Except for Joe. Impeachment, there's for a reason. Nobody would find it a little suspicious that the Democrats would try to impeach Trump 3 times, 4 times. How many impeachments can you even do? At what point do people say, man, you know what? That's something y'all use as a weapon. That's not something. I mean, this is y'all can't win a fight. So you just say, let's go ahead and impeach him. But then we got their leader, their new leader, who done stepped up, y'all. But we done found out some bad news about him that might discredit him as the new leader of the Democrat Party. So y'all remember last night when I was covering the guy who just drew up articles of impeachment, Mr.
Democrats are out of ideas. Congressman Cherie Fandadar.
Cherie, how do you put it? Fandador?
Is impeaching. Yep. And the more we learn about Cherie, the weirder it gets.
Oh, no. Man, we thought we had us a leader, y'all. We thought we had somebody who was squeaky clean on the up and up. about to take the reins of the Democrat Party, and yet we find out Mr. Shahir did what?
Cherie owned a pharmaceutical lab that ran tests on dogs and monkeys.
What?
A whistleblower accused Cherie of hiding that some of the herbal supplements he tested were spiked with Viagra.
No, you didn't, Mr. Shahir. No, you didn't. Now, you know, everybody draws the line when it comes to dogs. Don't you let me catch you killing dogs and running experiments on. You can't find nothing else to run experiments on than dogs. Guinea pig, maybe. Some mice. Can't go grab a couple possums, stuff that's ugly. Nobody want to get a raccoons and mess. You go get dogs. Man, this guy's evil, pure evil. They'll never embrace him now. He's a dog killer.
His company went bankrupt and over 100 beagles were stranded inside a lab.
Well, maybe we should impeach him, Mr. Dog Killer. So they were stranded inside the lab as they closed down the company for being bankrupt. I think this dude's career shot. See, he go ahead and try to grandstand and step out, bring attention to himself by drawing these articles of impeachment. And all that did was make folks go, who is this dude? What's his background? Where'd he come from? And what did he do? So now he's in the fishbowl. Everybody's looking at Mr. Shari.
Volunteers rescued them.
The volunteers had to rescue those beagles. What an animal. This guy deserves to be in those cages. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So here we go as we close.
We believe that they have never been outside ever.
Never. Mr. Sharif didn't even let the dogs outside. What kind of man is this? And he want to impeach Trump. He want to impeach Trump.
I don't think that they've actually had their paws on the grass. When I walked in here, it looked like they were walking on eggshells. They were kind of afraid to walk on the grass.
Sharif's a strange guy with a shady past. If I were him, I'd be laying low. But there's no leadership in the party, so guys like Sharif can steal the spotlight.
Yep.
But Democrats say Republicans are the weirdos.
Yep, there you have it. That's why they stink. They got folks like that weird guy running around with a LGBTQ flag and talking about he's impeaching the president while he's allowing his animals to be experimented on and then just abandon them. I mean, you could have let them go. They're hound dogs. They would have went out into the woods. Ain't nothing but a hound dog crying all the time. You couldn't even let the hound dogs go. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. But instead, you keep them in cages with an animal. So his career is most likely about to be done. And yet he's out there trying to impeach the president. So there you have it, guys. Trump's first 100 days, according to the left, is horrible and he deserves to be impeached. And everybody's regretting their vote. But according to us common sense folks, and especially the MAGA voters, we love it. Keep it going, Trump. Congratulations on your first 100 days. There you go. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for kicking it with me tonight. Oh, God. I said the word. I said the magic phrase. Come here, Nala. She was over there doing something. And soon as I said it, she turned and looked like, what? Did you just say God bless you? God bless America? I'm on my way. They were supposed to get their haircut today, and I totally forgot. I was at work. So no haircut for them. All right. So I'll be back tomorrow night. So please check me out. And, that's probably should turn this off. Hold on. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow night, same time, same place. Don't forget, check out Kevin's Corner store. And don't forget also, if you want to support the channel, you can do it through my Cash App and my PayPal. All right, God bless y'all. God bless America. We see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of all of this nonsense. Settle down. See, that's how you do it. This is all city. I know you see the way we tear up the place, yeah. God bless.